Welcome back to ABCGH Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the exciting developments unfolding in Port Charles that will leave fans on the edge of their seats. The drama is heating up with shocking revelations and dangerous confrontations that promise to change the landscape of our beloved soap opera. Dangerous confrontations and dire predictions. Jason Morgan will find himself in a heated exchange with Anna Devane as tensions reach a boiling point. When Jason physically restrains Anna by grabbing her arm to prevent her involvement in the volatile situation between Jack Brennan and Valentine Cassadine, Anna's fury will be unleashed. Her passionate demand to be released demonstrates her determination to protect those she cares about, regardless of the consequences. Jason's intervention isn't without reason, however. His grim assessment of Valentine's predicament stems from his understanding of the dangerous game being played. He may attempt to convince Anna that Valentine has created his own perilous circumstances through his actions, effectively painting a target on his own back. Jason's warning to Anna about staying clear of the impending danger shows his pragmatic approach to the volatile situation. The confrontation between these two strong-willed characters highlights the complex web of loyalties and conflicts that define Port Charles. Anna's protective instincts clash dramatically with Jason's calculated approach to danger, creating a compelling dynamic that viewers won't want to miss. A fatal farewell on the pier. The most shocking moment of Friday's episode will unfold on the iconic Port Charles Pier, where Jack Brennan appears ready to deliver a final goodbye to his old friend Valentine Cassadine. The tension-filled farewell suggests a deadly conclusion to their complicated history, with Brennan seemingly prepared to pull the trigger and end Valentine's life. This pivotal moment raises numerous questions for viewers. Will Brennan actually follow through with his apparent intention? Is Valentine's fate sealed, or could an unexpected twist intervene at the last possible moment? The dramatic confrontation represents the culmination of long-simmering tensions and betrayals, with potentially fatal consequences. The pier has historically been the setting for many of Port Charles's most dramatic moments, and this confrontation promises to add another unforgettable chapter to that legacy. The emotional weight of Brennan's parting words suggests a complex history between these characters that has deteriorated beyond repair. Sonny and Laura's surprising conversation. In an intriguing development, Sonny Corinthos and Laura Collins will engage in a conversation that reveals interesting shifts in Sonny's approach to conflict. Laura's pointed question about what has changed in Sonny's behavior suggests she's noticed his uncharacteristically restrained response to the Valentine situation. Laura's observation that Sonny's actions seem inconsistent with his usual approach to threats demonstrates her deep understanding of his character. Her surprise at his apparent calm in the face of Valentine's provocations indicates she expects the more aggressive Sonny of old. What Laura doesn't realize is that Sonny has already set plans in motion behind the scenes, directing Brennan toward Valentine and instructing Jason to complete the task if necessary. This calculated approach represents a more strategic Sonny who operates in the shadows rather than confronting enemies directly. Their conversation will likely touch on the ongoing Valentine drama while revealing new dimensions to Sonny's evolving character. Family secrets and protective measures. Brooklyn Quartermaine continues her determined quest for truth as she subjects her mother, Lois Cerullo, to another intense interrogation. Having discovered that Lois and Gloria have concealed important information about her baby, Brooklyn suspects there may be even more significant secrets being kept from her. The dramatic irony intensifies as viewers know that Lois is withholding life-changing information. Giovanni Gio Palmieri is actually Brooklyn and Dante Falconeri's adult son. This revelation would completely transform Brooklyn's understanding of her family and her past, yet Lois remains committed to maintaining this devastating secret. Meanwhile, Harrison Chase's unexpected visit to Lulu Spencer takes an interesting turn. While Lulu might assume his presence relates to protection following Valentine's concerning visit to Laura's residence, Chase reveals his true motivation is protecting his own family. His frustration with Lulu stems from her role in revealing Brooklyn's baby's gender, which he feels wasn't her information to share. Though Chase believes Dante deserves to know about his other child, he appears willing to honor Brooklyn's wishes for secrecy and expects Lulu to do the same. This confrontation highlights the complex web of loyalties and secrets that entangle Port Charles residents, with Chase taking a firm stand to protect those closest to him. Warnings and wake-up calls. At General Hospital, Felicia Scorpio delivers a stark warning to Carly Spencer following her frightening poisoning ordeal. Felicia's concern stems from recognizing how Carly's connection to Brennan placed her in mortal danger, leading her to urge Carly to end the relationship before facing even more severe consequences. This heart-to-heart conversation represents a pivotal moment for Carly, forcing her to confront the very real dangers associated with her current path. Felicia's intervention comes from a place of genuine care, offering Carly a perspective she might not have fully considered about the potentially lethal ramifications of her choices. The poisoning incident serves as a dramatic wake-up call, illustrating how quickly situations can escalate to life-threatening levels in Port Charles. Whether Carly will heed this warning or continue down her potentially dangerous path remains to be seen, but Felicia's advice adds another layer of tension to the unfolding drama. The unfolding drama in Port Charles. As these explosive storylines converge, Friday's episode promises to deliver shocking moments that will leave viewers eagerly anticipating what comes next. The potential fate of Valentine Cassadine hangs in the balance as Brennan prepares to exact his revenge. Anna's confrontation with Jason highlights the dangerous crosscurrents affecting everyone in their orbit. Meanwhile, the web of family secrets surrounding Brooklyn, Dante, and their son continues to grow more complex, with multiple characters now involved in maintaining or threatening this life-altering information. Chase's protective stance toward Brooklyn demonstrates his commitment, even as it creates new tensions with Lulu. The residents of Port Charles find themselves navigating treacherous waters, with loyalties tested, secrets threatened, and lives potentially hanging in the balance. As these dramatic storylines unfold, viewers can expect emotional confrontations, shocking revelations, and perhaps even tragic consequences that will forever change the landscape of General Hospital. Next, we will learn about the dramatic revelations shaking Port Charles to its core, particularly affecting the marriage of two beloved characters. The unexpected truth about Gio Palmieri. Living right under everyone's noses in the Courtemain mansion, young Gio Palmieri harbors a secret identity that will soon rock Port Charles. What nobody except Lois Cerullo and Gloria realizes is that Gio is actually Brooklyn's biological son, the very child she gave up for adoption at 16. This revelation will inevitably create shockwaves throughout the community, especially for those most directly involved. The irony of the situation is palpable. The child Brooklyn has been searching for in her heart has been living in her family home all along. This twist of fate adds layers of complexity to an already complicated situation, raising questions about how this revelation will affect Gio himself, who has been unaware of his true parentage. Dante's impending discovery. The circle of those aware of Brooklyn's secret continues to widen dangerously. What began as knowledge confined to her mother Lois, grandmother Gloria, and surprisingly, Cody Bell, has now expanded to include Martin Gray and Lulu Spencer due to Lois seeking legal advice. Lulu Spencer's ultimatum hangs in the air: tell Dante the truth, or she will. The pressure is mounting as Brooklyn faces the inevitable moment when Dante Falconeri will discover he fathered a child with her all those years ago. The revelation will undoubtedly transform not only Dante's life but also his relationships with both Brooklyn and his best friend Chase. The timing couldn't be worse, as this bombshell will drop while Dante is dealing with other personal and professional challenges in Port Charles. His reaction remains unpredictable, but the ripple effects will certainly be felt throughout their tight-knit community. Chase's devastating double blow. Harrison Chase's world has been turned upside down twice in rapid succession. First came the heartbreaking news of his sterility, crushing his dreams of having biological children with Brooklyn. While still processing this life-altering diagnosis, he's been blindsided by the revelation that his wife had a teenage pregnancy, not with some random neighborhood boy as he initially believed, but with his best friend Dante Falconeri. Chase, known throughout Port Charles for his supportive and understanding nature, now finds himself in uncharted emotional territory. His initial reaction was concern for what Brooklyn endured alone as a teenager, but learning the father's identity has changed everything. The betrayal feels fresh despite happening years before he met Brooklyn, creating a complex emotional landscape for him to navigate. Brooklyn's difficult decision. Brooklyn Quartermain made the difficult choice to reveal her long-held secret to Chase, believing that honesty was the path forward in their marriage. Her decision came from a place of love and trust, hoping that their bond was strong enough to withstand even this revelation. Her journey from scared pregnant teenager to successful adult has been marked by this secret, shaping her decisions and relationships over the years. The weight of carrying this truth alone for so long has affected her in ways even she may not fully understand, influencing her sometimes defensive personality and reluctance to be vulnerable. When she finally opened up to Chase about the pregnancy, she withheld the crucial detail of the father's identity, perhaps knowing instinctively that this information would cause irreparable damage to their relationship and to Chase's friendship with Dante. The future of Brooklyn and Chase's marriage. The foundation of Brooklyn and Chase's marriage now faces its greatest test. What began as a relationship built on mutual respect and understanding now teeters on the edge of collapse. Chase's statement that it changes everything resonates ominously for their future together. Their ability to move forward will depend on numerous factors. Can Chase separate Brooklyn's past actions from their present relationship? Will he be able to maintain his friendship with Dante? How will the revelation about Joe's true identity further complicate matters? The coming weeks will be crucial as they attempt to rebuild trust and determine whether their love is strong enough to overcome these obstacles. Counseling might be necessary, and the support of family and friends could prove essential during this turbulent time. Port Charles community reaction. As news of this situation inevitably spreads throughout Port Charles, reactions will vary widely. The Quartermain family, already no stranger to scandal, will have to adjust to having Gio recognized as part of their bloodline. Dante's family, particularly his mother Olivia, will have strong opinions about the situation and Brooklyn's decision to keep this secret. The revelation may also create unexpected alliances and conflicts within the community, as people take sides or offer support to those involved. Long-standing relationships will be tested, and new connections might form in the aftermath of this dramatic disclosure. The coming days in Port Charles promise emotional confrontations, difficult conversations, and potentially life-altering decisions for all involved. The revelation about Joe's parentage will create a new family dynamic that nobody could have anticipated. For Brooklyn and Chase, the path forward remains uncertain. Their marriage, once seemingly unshakable, now stands on fragile ground. Whether they can rebuild what they had or must forge a new kind of relationship remains to be seen. One thing is certain: Port Charles will never be the same after these truths come to light, and the repercussions will continue to unfold in unexpected ways for everyone involved in this heartbreaking situation. Next, we will learn about the issues surrounding Carly Spencer's polonium poisoning and its potential connections to past events in Port Charles. This shocking development has left fans speculating about possible culprits and the return of a notorious villain. The poisoning incident. Carly Spencer's life hung in the balance after an alarming poisoning incident that occurred on Tuesday, March 18. While enjoying what should have been a pleasant glass of champagne in Jack Brennan's upscale Metro Court suite, Carly unknowingly ingested a lethal substance. Jack, emerging from his shower, immediately noticed something suspicious about the champagne bottle. The label appeared to have been tampered with. Despite Jack's desperate attempt to knock the glass from her hand, Carly had already consumed enough of the tainted champagne to put her life at risk. The dramatic scene unfolded with Carly collapsing into Jack's arms, creating a moment of intense fear and uncertainty for viewers. Medical professionals later confirmed the horrifying truth: Carly had been poisoned with polonium, a rare and deadly radioactive element. The situation became even more suspicious with Valentine Cassidy's presence nearby, immediately raising questions about his potential involvement in this sinister plot. The medical emergency. The poisoning quickly escalated into a life-threatening medical crisis. Carly's condition deteriorated rapidly, culminating in her heart actually stopping. This critical moment had fans holding their breath, wondering if this might be the end for the beloved character. Fortunately, medical staff were able to administer an antidote in time, successfully reviving Carly from her brush with death. When she regained consciousness, she found Jack at her bedside, his expression reflecting both immense relief and profound gratitude that she had survived the ordeal. The availability of this life-saving antidote wasn't merely coincidental. It came as a result of a crucial call from Anna Devane to Robin Scorpio Drake, who had previously developed the antidote during another polonium poisoning incident years earlier. Robin's quick response in sending the antidote to the hospital proved to be the difference between life and death for Carly. Historical connections. This isn't the first time polonium has threatened lives in Port Charles. In 2012, both Luke Spencer, Carly's uncle, and Jerry Jacks, her former brother-in-law, suffered from polonium poisoning. This historical connection has sparked intense speculation among fans about whether Jerry might be orchestrating a comeback through this latest poisoning incident. During that earlier crisis, Jerry had taken Luke captive and forced Robin into captivity, compelling her to develop an antidote and test it on Luke to verify its effectiveness. Tracy Quartermaine played a crucial role in that situation, using the entire available supply of the antidote to save Luke, seemingly leaving Jerry to face his fate without treatment. However, Robin discovered she could produce additional antidote using a sample of Luke's blood, which she successfully created. Remarkably, both Luke and Jerry survived their polonium poisoning ordeals, though their paths diverged significantly afterward. Jerry Jacks, the missing piece? Jerry Jacks has a complex history that makes him a compelling suspect in the current situation. In 2015, Anna and Robert Scorpio captured Jerry and sent him to the high-security Steinmauer prison. However, Jerry's confinement didn't last. He managed to escape in 2019, and his whereabouts and activities since then remain largely unknown. Given Jerry's history with polonium and his connections to various characters in Port Charles, his potential involvement in Carly's poisoning cannot be dismissed. While Valentine Cassidy appears to be the most obvious suspect for delivering the polonium-laced champagne, Jerry could very well be the source of the poison itself. Polonium is an extremely rare and controlled substance, not something that can be casually acquired. Jerry's previous experience with this specific poison makes him one of the few characters with both the knowledge and potential access to obtain it for another attack. Suspicious connections. Recent events have revealed additional layers of intrigue that might connect to Carly's poisoning. Valentine was seen crossing paths with Sonny Corinthos at Sonny's new residence. This encounter gains significance when considering the sophisticated devices used in a previous attack on Sonny's penthouse, equipment that would typically only be accessible to military or intelligence agencies. Valentine mentioned a theft of similar devices from Pikeman, indicating he had been searching for them before the FBI intervened. This creates a potential link between various dangerous elements currently circulating in Port Charles. Jerry, with his background as a mercenary, could potentially have obtained one or more of these stolen devices. He might have orchestrated the hit on Sonny through the assassin Salisky. Additionally, given Jerry's history and connections, collaborations between Jerry and other characters like Sidwell, Brennan, or even Valentine cannot be ruled out. Theories and possibilities. The polonium poisoning has opened up numerous possibilities for storyline development. While Valentine remains a primary suspect, the specific choice of polonium as the poison strongly suggests connections to past events involving Jerry Jacks and Luke Spencer. The complexity of acquiring and handling polonium indicates that whoever is behind this attack has significant resources and dangerous connections. Whether Jerry is working alone or in partnership with other characters remains to be seen, but his potential return would certainly shake up the current dynamics in Port Charles. As Carly recovers from this near-fatal incident, the investigation into who poisoned her will likely uncover deeper conspiracies and potentially bring long-absent characters back into the spotlight. The use of polonium specifically might be not just a murder attempt but also a message, a signature of sorts from someone with a particular history with this unusual poison. The coming episodes will undoubtedly explore these connections further, potentially revealing surprising alliances and hidden agendas that have been developing behind the scenes for years. For fans of General Hospital, this poisoning incident represents not just a threat to a beloved character but the possible beginning of a complex new chapter in the show's ongoing saga.